Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki, known here as the One-Handed Bandit. And today I'm going to be doing more of I guess you can say a nude smoky eye, if that makes sense. But you know, a really nude eye that's smoky, your face is fresh, it's glowy. That's the type of makeup look that I'll be doing today. Those are some of my most favorite looks. I really steer towards nude looks and I don't like things complicated. So these are the looks that I typically gravitate towards. So if you're interested in creating a nude smoky eye or a nude look, then keep watching. So I already done my brows off camera and I'm going to go in with the concealer that I'm going to be using today because I think this is best to keep the products as minimal as possible. So for my concealer today, I'm going to be using the CoverGirl concealer, and I'm going to use that on my face, but I'm going to also use it to prime my eyes for eyeshadow. So now that the base is set, I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow, and for today I'm going to only be using one eyeshadow on my lid, and today I'm going to be going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. This is volume 4. This is the final installment of her palette series, and this is what this palette looks like. So I typically gravitate towards nude shades. So I am going to use just one color all over my lid. And I am going to be using this shade right here, D5. I'm going to go in really heavy with the product. So I'm going to be heavy-handed with dipping into the eyeshadow. And I'm just going to pack as much as I can on the lid. This is a really gorgeous terracotta brown shade. And this is one of those quick looks that you can do in the morning as you're getting ready for work, getting ready for an appointment. It's very minimal and very simple and easy to do. So I've packed all of that onto the lid, and you can start to see as it's going up my crease. So I'm not going to add any more product on my brush, but I am still blending upwards. So you can start to see the shadow going into my crease. Just blending up towards the brow bone. So I'm making circular motions, but I'm also moving upwards as well as I circle. And now I'm just going to work on the other eye. Depending on your preference, you can go in with strip lashes, or you can also just pop on some mascara and just be done with the eyes. But I'm a little bit extra and I don't have much lashes, so I typically like to go in with eyelashes. So I always have a pair of lashes on my vanity, so I'm just going to grab a pair that I already have. I have no idea what style they are, what brand, but I'm just going to pop these on. My lash glue is drying on my lashes. I'm going to go ahead and prep my face for foundation. And today I'm going to be using my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I love this. It is a pretty hefty price tag, but it is worth it. I've had this for about a year now, and I am not even halfway done. This is about how much I have after a whole year. So if you have a lot of makeup, you typically go back and forth between your foundations. You don't use the same primer every time you add foundation. So because I have quite a few primers is probably why I am going through this very slowly, but I don't mind because I am definitely getting my money's worth. Sometimes I like to use this as a moisturizer really quickly, but mainly I use it as a primer. So it's a primer and moisturizer in one. And for foundation, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Stay Naked Foundation, and I have the shade 71NN. So this is a medium buildable foundation, and I don't go in with too much of this foundation. I just added a few on my face, and I'm just going to blend it out. It kind of looks red on camera, but you'll see as I blend it out how it blends into my, you can already see how it blends into my skin tone. So the trick with eyelashes is to let that glue get nice and tacky. You don't want to just apply the glue and then go right in and apply them to your lids. You want to let it dry for a little bit, but don't let it get all the way dry, just enough, tacky enough to where you can apply it to your lids. Looks like my glue is getting nice and tacky, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop those on. So now that we have those lashes applied, I'm going to go in with my concealer. And as I mentioned before, I'm using the CoverGirl concealer. This concealer right here. I'm only going to add this right under my eye. Like right here. And I'm going to be a little extra, and I'm going to go in with another concealer. I'll be using the Fenty Beauty concealer, and this is in the shade 380. And then back with the CoverGirl concealer, just taking a little dab. And then just blend it out. So now that the concealer is blended, I'm going to go in with my setting powder, and I'm using the Sacha Buttercup Setting Powder. This is an oldie but goodie, and you can never go wrong with a product that was a cult favorite, and I used to love this. I even went to Trinidad just so I can re-up on my setting powder. So this setting powder is directly from Trinidad that I brought back about 2 years ago, and I still have one more because I purchased 2 of them. So I'm just gonna apply that setting powder right underneath my eye. I'm not gonna add too much because I don't want it super bright, but I do want it bright enough so that it can add some dimension to my face. So with a bright under eye and then a super bronzed face. So to bronze, I'm going to be using my Sephora Spice Market blush palette. Now, it is a blush palette, but it does have a very deep contour shade that I like to use. So this is what it looks like. And as you can see right here on the bottom left, that is the shade that I like to use to bronze. It's not super dark, but it's dark enough to give your face some dimension. And that is why I like it. And I'm going to be setting my face with a finishing powder. And this is from Black Radiance. And this is their Soft Focus finishing powder. And this is what the packaging looks like. This is in the shade... This is in the shade Milk Chocolate. And I take whatever is left and I dust away that setting powder on my nose. I just spotted this highlighter palette on my vanity and I decided to why not use it again, because this was one of my favorite highlighting palettes, and that is the Glow Kit by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I know it's more than likely expired, but I love this palette. Look at these shades in here, and I like to use this shade right here, Hot Sand, and it's a very gorgeous highlight shade. After I highlight, I like to go back over my face to make sure everything is blended with my powder brush. Going to add a liner, and this is the Urban Decay Perversion liner, and I'm just going to add that to my lower lash line. And last but not least, I'm going to add a pinky nude lip, and this is the Artist Couture lip gloss in the shade Shameless. And that is it. That is the final look. My nude ultimate makeup look for brown skin. I recommend absolutely all of these products. They look absolutely great on my skin tone. This lip gloss is amazing. It is one of the very few lip glosses that I do not have to use a lip liner with. I love this. This is everywhere with me, which is why I can never find it. It's either in my purse, in here, on my vanity. This, what I have to purchase some more so that I can have one pretty much everywhere around the house and one always in my purse. And as for the brown eyeshadow, you don't necessarily have to have this palette. You can go in with a brown eyeshadow from any palette. This eyeshadow that I have on is very similar to the Edges eyeshadow in the Jackie Aina palette, and there's tons of other palettes that have very similar shades. So you can take your favorite brown eyeshadow and just add it all over the lid and be good to go. Your foundation and your preference of applying makeup is basically, you know, what you choose to do, but this is the process that I chose to do for myself and my skin tone. But I hope that you have enjoyed. Leave me some comments down below and let me know what types of foundations, eyeshadows, and lip glosses that you enjoy using, and let's discuss it down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.